And welcome back to the Hot Lap as we are talking the Mexican Grand Prix winners and losers. An amazing race for Ferrari. McLaren potentially could have done better. We're not talking to you, Lando. And Red Bull, well, I think a disaster. And Mercedes forever medical. So here we go. Here is the race result. Carlos Sainz, absolutely congratulations. Got pole position. Didn't lead at the end of the first lap though, but got it back in second. A wonderful recovery from that controversial incident with Max Verstappen for Lando Norris, and Charles Leclerc disappointed, I think, with third. Amazingly good points for Ferrari. They close up on that Constructors' Championship with McLaren. Incidentally, they finished they're now second, not finished second, but they are now second in the Constructors' Championship. And in fourth, Lewis Hamilton beats George Russell, but I think he had a bit of help because George Russell had a damaged front wing. Max Verstappen in sixth. Who would have thought that? And that's with a 20-second penalty as well. Kevin Magnussen. Wow. I mean, this guy having his last few races in Formula One. Are people going to be questioning that? Eighth, Oscar Piastri from the back. Yeah, that's the McLaren could have done better. Qualifying really hurt him. What could he have done in the race? Ninth, Nico Hülkenberg, and 10th, Pierre Gasly. This is Jonathan Noble on Sergio Perez. Now, Sergio Perez and Liam Lawson had a bit of a to-do. Not as spicy, maybe, as Norris and Verstappen, but still, nearly. Perez made some pretty choice words against Liam Lawson, says John Noble. Perez said, "I think the way he's come to Formula One, I don't think he has the right attitude for it," said the Mexican. "He needs to be a bit more humble." Coming from Sergio Perez. Yeah, okay. This is the entire top 20, albeit Tsunoda, Albon and Alonso. Yeah, Fernando, really, really sad, did not finish. Last, Sergio Perez. Yes, he did receive some damage from that Liam Lawson incident, but I've given you the top 10, and 11th was Stroll, 12th Colapinto, 13th Ocon, 14th Bottas, 15th Zhao, 16th Lawson, 17th Sergio Perez. And on that, let's then have a look then at what is probably going to be our winners and losers. Yeah, so who finished last? Well, it was Liam Lawson's teammate. It was a Japanese driver. It was a Honda favourite, Yuki Tsunoda. And sad times, really. What could this guy have done? He's under pressure from Liam Lawson. Yes, Liam Lawson didn't end up scoring points. He was up there at one point, though. And Liam Lawson also had a good chance of getting the fastest lap. None of that accounts to Yuki Tsunoda, who finished last. Had an accident, had a tag with Alexander Albon. And the issue is, can we apportion blame for any of them? That's the thing. I'm not really too sure. But another man under pressure. Both of them under pressure. Both Alexander Albon and Yuki Tsunoda under pressure to do well. And sadly, they didn't. Yeah, so I don't think... they both qualified, okay. It did appear to be a racing incident, if I'm honest. One of the biggest shames, though, the qualifying wasn't amazing, but Fernando Alonso in his 400th race weekend, remember? Yeah, I really felt for him. Aston Martin again didn't have a very good weekend, did they? But what could have Alonso done? We are never going to know. But last on the track and last running, this guy here, and they interviewed Sergio Perez. They asked him whether he's going to be here for next year. He said yes. No. And I'm not a stand-up comic. He did say yes. I'm surprised. Given the poor qualifying, given the poor form in the race, yes, Liam Lawson did damage his stuff, but he damaged his car. Not particularly good. He did gain 5 positions, but he had his car was out of place. But he got a penalty. It was a bit of it was a bit embarrassing for Sergio Perez. I don't know what more to say. And then speaking of Perez, Liam Lawson, who I don't really have a car for, but I think he did okay for the weekend. It wasn't as impressive as the United States Grand Prix weekend. I guess roll onward to Brazil and see what he does there. So Zhao, he turned up in the Stake F1 team. He just about beat this man here. But once again, I don't know what can we really expect from what is arguably the slowest car. Bonus, They didn't finish last. I think that's all we need to know. So Esteban Ocon started from the pit lane and ended up finishing in 13th. So not too bad. Not too bad from Ocon. You know, okay. Colapinto, yeah, I think he got a penalty towards the end, didn't he? A bit, maybe a tiny bit too on the aggressive mark. No, not Max Verstappen level, but still something he needs that is potentially slightly concerning on Colapinto's level. So yeah, not the best weekend, but by far the worst. Lance Stroll then is up next, and this man just missed out on points, finishing 11th. And it was, yeah, I mean, Aston Martin, that car is not particularly very good, but I would like to raise a glass and raise a congratulations to Pierre Gasly, who did score a point in 10th. He's going to be smiling, but not as much as the Haas team. But interestingly, it's not going to be Nico Hülkenberg, who did finish 9th. He's going to be smiling as much. He was beaten again by, I was going to say Jan, but no, Kevin Magnussen. What an absolutely race. And I mean, yes, Carlos Sainz did win man of the race. I think you can make another argument for this guy and Lando Norris, but well done, Kevin Magnussen. Brilliant. I mean, yeah, he finished just behind the top guys. And one of the top guys, obviously, being Max Verstappen, finishing 6th. But one man I did forget is a man that didn't qualify particularly well. He's only got himself to blame. Is Oscar Piastri, who finished 8th. Disappointing, really. But you've got to look at qualifying. A solid race, considering where he started from. But when you look at the weekend as a whole, yeah, Oscar Piastri, I mean, really could do better. But let's talk about this man here. We did a video on him. Max Verstappen. Is he dangerous? Yes, we think he is. Could this all have been avoided? Yes. Awesome first corner. Awesome qualifying. Then completely ruined by the fact that this guy can't race. He just has to push drivers off the track. That is not racing. And he was the master of his own demise in relation to the 20-second penalty. The other concern that Red Bull are having is that car is just not fast. The magic of Max Verstappen can't even make that car fast now. You know, when you compare him to Sergio Perez. One issue about that, we don't know how good or bad Perez really is. But Max Verstappen is still making that car look like a potential race winner on the Saturday, and it kind of all falls apart. The car's not good enough. Is Max trying too hard? Maybe. Still no excuse for the way he drove today. Absolutely no excuse for the way he drove today. Next up, we got George Russell, who probably should have beaten Lewis Hamilton had it not been for that front wing issue. Lewis got by him early on, then Russell got back at him, and then he had that front wing issue, which ended up, you know, not really helping him. And the issue with the Mercedes team here, Lewis Hamilton finishing 4th, yeah, one place outside the podium, albeit a good 44 seconds off the lead, where a car, this is the car that won Silverstone, this is the car that won Austria, there was help there, this is the car that dominated Belgium, both him and George Russell, and now they're finishing 44 seconds off the pace in Mexico. Quite frankly, Mercedes not good enough. You have to wonder how, I mean, it'd be really interesting, someone asking Lewis Hamilton, how do you feel about the fact that, yes, you're not doing too good, but your team for next year nearly got a 1-2. So the first man on the podium, it wasn't a Ferrari 1-2, it was Charles Leclerc, just not fast enough. He was keeping his pace up there with Carlos Sainz, just, you know, a few tenths faster than him towards the end of the race, and then Lando Norris got within a second of him, and then he did a whoops-a-daisy at the final corner, completely went off, an awesome save, also an unforced error, a classic Charles Leclerc moment, which we thought we wouldn't be seeing anymore, but we have. That's going to really have to stop for next year, because I genuinely think, given that car how good it is, they can continue that momentum. They potentially have a world championship winning car, and he's going to have to go some to go again to beat Lewis Hamilton. But I think the two of them, it's going to be so close next year. It is going to be very exciting. But Lando Norris keeping the championship just about alive. Realistic? Probably not. We need a bit of a disaster from Max Verstappen. It was a disaster today. More of them. Lando Norris is going to think. And maybe he does have a chance. A good comeback. You have to wonder, though, as good as Carlos Sainz was, he was amazing. Lando Norris was the faster car towards the end of the race. And had we not had the Max Verstappen Lando Norris issue, would we be talking about a different race winner? Possibly. Having said that, you've got to be in it to win it, and this guy was most certainly in it to win it. A massive congratulations for Carlos Sainz. Well done. From pole, absolutely brilliant, sublime. Yes, the smooth operator strikes again. So, if there we go. If you liked what you see, please give us a subscribe. Hit that notification button so you do not miss a video. We will speak to you soon. Thank you very much and stay safe.